Welcome. Stay a while and listen. It's me, the other blue wizard, here to explain to you postmodernism because it matters in the world you live in today. And apparently, it's a whole big issue, and nobody knows what the heck that means, even though it's actually super simple and you probably already get it intuitively because the world we live in is actually not as complicated as the words we use to describe it make it seem. So, first word here, modernism. Modernism is the idea that the whole world is a machine, that it all fits together with facts and numbers and logic. There is no magic, there's just mystery. If we don't understand what's going on, that doesn't mean that what's going on doesn't make sense. It just means that we need to get to the bottom of it. It all comes back to numbers, facts, and logic, and it's all sensical and rational. That's modernism. Pretty cool idea. Postmodernism is then the idea, it's not a refutation of modernism. Post meaning past, after. It is an elaboration of modernism which says, yes, the world is made out of facts and logic and numbers, and you are biased and will have a difficult time interpreting them. Now, the very simple experiment, the simple little thing you can show people modernism is you draw a circle with a line on the bottom, like one of these, on the floor between two people, right? And so, let's say you're you, and you're looking at this on the floor, and I'm like, "What is that?" And you're like, "Well, that's a six." And I'm like, "You fucking idiot! That's a nine." Over here, I'm saying, "Hey, I'm looking right at this nine. What are you stupid?" And then someone from the side comes in and says, "You guys are jokers. That's obviously a snail." And then we realize it's actually just a rogue sperm. The point is that facts are facts. People are stupid, and they may not get to the bottom of what is a fact just by looking at the thing. Your position in the world alone, let alone your economic history, your education, any number of things that will change what facts looked like. That's postmodernism. It's the idea that, well, okay, and this is the beautiful thing about postmodernism is that without it, you don't have science. Because if modernism was the nature of the world, then anyone could run an experiment and they would show it to people and say, well, this is what this means, and no one would ever have to peer review it. The whole idea of postmodernism is that the only way to really be sure that a fact is if everybody can tell that it's a fact. You can show that it's a fact from every angle. This is where you get a famous painting that I assume can utterly baffle any right-winger when you just hold up an object like this and you ask him, what is this? And Jordan Peterson says, well, it's a pipe. And you say, no, this is not a pipe. And then he realizes that he doesn't understand art. And then you show him one of these, and he starts regretting his decisions in life and has no idea. I don't know what that is. The reason that people whack jobs like Jordan Peterson hate postmodernism and rail against it is because it undermines their authoritarian positions, because they need you to buy into the idea that the facts are the way they sell them and that there is no other interpretation for them. One beautiful example of this is how a corporation is a dictatorship. These words mean the same thing. They mean the same thing. A corporation is not a type of dictatorship. A dictatorship is not a type of corporation. They are authoritarian power structures where one or a few people are at the top and what they say goes. They may have to vet their opinions against an aristocratic class, which would be the boardroom or the stockholders or what have you, and everyone below that just does what they're told. That's dictatorship. Corporation. Dictatorship. These words are the same. There's the same word. The idea that they're two different things it is derived from basically propaganda, wherein they just label it something else. Much like how profit motive is a fancy re-language or soft language relabeling of the notion of hedonism. It's just profit motive is endless profit seeking, endless control and power, endless power seeking, endless control and safety, which you want to feel good. It's the profit motive is pleasure seeking at any cost, which is what hedonism is. That's what hedonism is. And of course, hedonism is just drunk nihilism. Oh, and of course, drunk nihilism, nihilism of any kind, is for children and people with broken minds who have been reduced to children to childlike status through trauma or abuse or neglect or any number of other things You can break a person to the point where they become nihilistic, but that's not good. That's self-destructive. Nihilism is bad. You don't want that. Drunk nihilism is not better. So what we've got here is the profit motive is basically just a drunk baby with a tie on, lying to you about how no, they have a plan. It's to it's to shit themselves. Postmodernism is so obvious and inherent to the world, and it's damning that people are against it. It is embarrassing. And they're like, no, 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 no. They have to paint it like it's something else. They have to pretend like you just don't believe in facts. Now, I do believe in facts, and I believe that you are the last person I would go to for them, is what I'm trying to say. That's, hope that helped.